What is up, you guys? Welcome back to another one. If you're new to the channel, I am Gold Pony. This is Gold Pony Crypto. And so I wanted to do a tutorial on the Crypto.com DeFi wallet because a lot has been happening lately in the news with the war between Russia and Ukraine, and of course a lot going on in Canada as well. So the reason I'm bringing all this up is because with traditional banks and even centralized exchanges for crypto, the governments have the ability to essentially freeze your assets if they wanted to, if they felt the need to for whatever reason. And quite honestly, they can do that with the exception of DeFi. The reason they can't do it with DeFi is because it's decentralized, obviously. It is simply just software. Like, no central entity owns the capability of getting into your DeFi wallet because there's seed phrases that only you know and nobody else does. There's no software company, there's no centralized entity that knows your seed phrase in order to get into it and do anything with your money, including freezing any kind of assets that you were to have, which is why having a DeFi wallet is so important. Because like I said, you guys have seen what has happened in Canada with the Canadian government freezing some of their own citizens' assets. You've seen what's happened in Ukraine and Russia with the bank runs. They're freezing their money essentially within the banks, not allowing people to withdraw. So naturally, a DeFi wallet will fix this. But DeFi actually is more than just simply freedom. It is also the ability to earn so much better interest than you would ever possibly earn in a centralized exchange. I've seen 1,000 plus APRs. I've even seen 100,000 plus APRs, although they don't last long, of course. That's when a project first comes out, but still, you have the ability to make some insane gains in the DeFi realm. And personally, I'm staking VVS Finance in my DeFi wallet, and when I first started staking it, it was 500% APR, and now it has gone down to, I don't know, 67% or something like that, which is still a ton better than any centralized exchange is going to be able to offer. And I'll show you guys that when we get into the DeFi wallet here, but definitely a lot of interest to be made in the DeFi side of things. And not only that, NFTs, that's a whole nother realm. Don't get me wrong, Crypto.com/NFT is a great platform, but I've tried both a lot, and the DeFi side of things through, let's say, Abyssus Bay, the NFT DeFi projects offer so much greater utility. Yes, they do airdrops just like the Crypto.com NFT platform does, but they also do NFT staking where you can take your NFT, stake it within a DEX, and then earn passive income with that. They also do profit sharing. So a portion of the profits that they earn from the NFT sales go to certain holders sometimes, if not all of the holders. And of course, my very favorite, also yield farm boosting. And so take, for example, Mad Meerkat Finance. If you buy their NFT, you can actually stake it for an additional yield on whatever yield farm that you are currently in within their DEX. So tons more utility than you can ever get in the Crypto.com NFT platform. Not bashing that platform at all. I still love that platform, but I'm just saying DeFi NFTs are most certainly where it's at. But so hopefully now that I have gotten your attention, let's go ahead and get started with how to actually get started. So the first thing you want to do is go ahead and pull out your smartphone. Go to the Google Play Store or the Apple App Store and look for the Crypto.com DeFi wallet. It's simply just a simple download to get started. Make sure it's the right one. Make sure it's the one with all of the ratings that are on it already and that have been downloaded however many tons of times that it is. And since I've already done this, I'm just going to generalize this next part, but go ahead and create an account, create a password. I would definitely recommend setting up two-factor authentication because that is going to, of course, help from anybody else getting into there. But perhaps the most important part about setting up a DeFi wallet is that seed phrase. It's going to give you your 12-character, 12-word seed phrase. You're going to want to write that down. Don't take a screenshot on your phone. Don't jot it down in your Samsung Note section of your phone or whatever the Apple version is, because of course that opens up the ability for it to be hacked and somebody else to get your seed phrase. So essentially what you want to do is jot it down on a piece of paper, or better yet, even memorize it and then put it somewhere safe if you jot it down on a piece of paper, and that's pretty much all you got to do there. And once you actually get that, you never have to actually use it to sign in. You don't use it to sign in every single time. It's only if you actually like switch devices, or if you lose your phone, or if you trade in your phone for a new one in order to get back into that DeFi wallet. Definitely make sure you have that seed phrase before you trade your phone in. But in order to get back in, you're going to have to put in that seed phrase yet again since it's a new device, but that's essentially all it's there for if you were to lose your phone or get a new device. Another thing you want to do in the process of getting set up is go ahead and link your Crypto.com DeFi wallet to the Crypto.com centralized app as well, because that's going to make moving money back and forth so much easier, getting Crow from the DeFi wallet onto the centralized exchange and vice versa. And I'll be going over that further in this video then as well. And if you did want to go ahead and do that, if you scroll all the way down under the section labeled Explore, there's going to be a little rectangle that asks you to go ahead and link to the Crypto.com app. It's not going to be there for me because I've already done it. But anyways, and so once you get to the homepage, I'm actually just going to look down on my phone here, walk you guys through a little bit of it here. At the very top, it's a very nice layout, by the way. It's extremely easy to figure out. It has a nice UI, I guess is what I'm trying to say. Gas fees meter is at the upper right hand corner. And when I'm saying gas fees, this is all on the Cronos chain. So gas fees where it's like $200 on Ethereum might be 60 cents on Cronos or something like that. It's practically nothing. You got your total balance at the very top. You have a couple little buttons where you can send crypto to others or just another one of your own crypto wallets if you wanted to do that. There's of course the receive button where you're going to be able to find your wallet addresses. If you maybe want a giveaway on Twitter or something, you have to provide your public wallet address. And by the way, those are completely fine to share. You can share your public wallet addresses. You just can't share your seed phrases ever. Don't do that. But so just as a side note, let's say if you win an NFT on the Cronos blockchain, you're going to want to give out your Cronos address as opposed to the Crow address, because there's a couple different ones. There's the Crypto.org chain, which is labeled Crow, and then there's the Cronos address, which is labeled Cronos. So another thing I wanted to touch on is when you're finished with DeFi, if you ever want to be finished with DeFi, how to go about sending your Crow or any token for that matter back to the centralized exchange, because specifically, I'm going to touch on Crow because everything in DeFi interacts for the most part with Crow. And so if you go ahead and hit that receive button at the top of the app there, it's going to then give you an option of a Cronos bridge. And this is where you can bridge between the DeFi world and the centralized world, otherwise known as the Cronos network and the Crypto.org chain. So let's say you just sold a bunch of NFTs on the Cronos chain. You're going to want to hit those two little vertical lines in between the upper and bottom portion there. And that can flip things back and forth, whether you want to push Crow to one side or another, but it's all going to be in Cronos then if you sold a bunch of NFTs in, let's say, Abyssus Bay, and then you're going to switch that to the Crypto.org chain, and then you're going to be able to pass everything along to the centralized app if you wanted to. Obviously, then it's going to be vice versa if you wanted to get more Crow into the Cronos network. Next thing I wanted to touch on is the buy section. So this is always interesting because it never works for me the first time. Not anything wrong with the app itself, but wrong with my personal bank, because they always think it's sketchy that I try to purchase crypto through the DeFi wallet. You can do it, but typically what happens with me is when I go ahead and hit buy, there's going to be this little pop-up that pops up saying that I need to contact my bank and tell them that this is a legit transaction or whatever. So I do that, and they ask me 100 different questions about where my bank's located, what the street is, and all kinds of weird stuff. And then eventually I get approved, and then I'm able to go back in and actually go ahead and buy through the Crypto.com DeFi wallet. Maybe not all banks are like that. Mine's a little weird, but anyways. Then if you scroll down to the very bottom of that homepage, you're going to see new coin listings, which sometimes can be absolutely hilarious. You'll see tokens like Clifford, Big Red Dog, Shiba Inu, Doge, to the moon coin or whatever. I just made that up, but there can be some sketchy coins coming up on there, so just be careful which ones you're getting into, but they have a ton of coins in DeFi. So let me just tell you that, more so than on the centralized app. And so lastly, on the main page, I wanted to mention is that total balance at the very top. That includes all of the tokens that you currently have in your DeFi wallet, plus DeFi Earn as well, which is the DeFi version of staking on the Crypto.com DeFi wallet. So let's go ahead and get now into the staking real quick. And by the way, I did make a full video on staking within the Crypto.com DeFi wallet, so I'll leave that as one of the little videos you can click at the end of this video, but that one's going to be a little more in depth than what I'm about to do here. But you can stake different tokens like VVS, Crow, there's Cosmos, there's Curve, and a bunch of other ones as well. Those are the biggest gainers, I guess. The VVS one, you had to originally go into the VVS Finance DEX in order to actually stake there, and then that's where you would have to go. But now they've actually integrated with the Crypto.com DeFi wallet, because when it comes to VVS Finance and Tectonic, they're all connected very closely to Crypto.com. And that's not financial advice, nor is anything in this video for that matter, but it's kind of interesting how that worked, though, I will say that. And so if you wanted to go ahead and stake a token, go ahead and click Earn More. Then it's going to give you all of those options and what the interest rates could be up to, typically is how they do it. And again, it's pretty simple from there. And if you did need more information, again, that video will be at the end of this one. Next, at the bottom, there's going to be that swap feature, which typically all DEXs have, essentially just swapping one token to another. If you wanted to stake particular token, you could take your original Crow and then push that into whatever that token is that you want to stake. And you're going to have to pay gas fees, of course, but that's how the swap feature works. It's pretty simple. But perhaps my my favorite section in the Crypto.com DeFi wallet is the dApps section. And so once you go ahead and hit that, that's at the bottom middle of that homepage there. There's going to be 3 columns. The first column is going to be for popular dApps, and that's going to include everything. That's even going to include PancakeSwap and Uniswap and a lot of Ethereum dexes as well. Second column then is going to be the Cronos dApps, and these are the ones that I prefer. But again, VVS Finance, Tectonic, there's Mad Meerkat Finance, there's Crodex, there's Cyborg Swap. There's a bunch of really good ones within that are very reputable at this point, and a lot of absolutely incredible APR. I know Mad Meerkat Finance tends to offer over 1,000% APR on some of their tokens, and even over 100,000% in some cases as well. So this is where DeFi really gets good. And then that third column is another really good column, because that is where you can actually save different dApps that you frequently visit, or maybe it's just an NFT project that you want to check back on because there's added utility over time, perhaps like Chronomes, for example. That's one of them I saved. Or my favorite, Abyssus Bay, and that is going to be the top NFT marketplace on Chronos. So if you're into NFTs, I would definitely suggest saving that one, at least Abyssus Bay, because it's not in the Chronos dApp section, at least not yet. Maybe it will be in the future, but for now, just go ahead and save it. Make sure it's the right one. Make sure you got the right website so it's not somebody trying to take your NFTs. But that is what I personally did, because I think I am on Abyssus Bay every single day. But anyways, I'll probably be making a how-to video on how to use Abyssus Bay in the future. But just real quick, just to get you guys familiar with the platform, there's 3 lines in the upper right-hand corner. It's going to be Home, Marketplace, Collections, and Drops, and then the little pixelated logo in the upper right-hand corner as well. If you hit that, it's going to be a little drop down where you can click My NFTs. That's where all your Chronos NFTs are going to be stored. Unless, of course, you're staking them in a decentralized exchange, earning passive income, then they're not going to be stored there. But then when you unstake them from the DEX, then they're going to be back into that NFT wallet. And so overall, when it comes to my final thoughts of this Crypto.com DeFi wallet, it works very well together with the Crypto.com centralized exchange. It's very easy to get Crow to and from each exchange. It's very, very easy actually, because they're linked. You got to link them, but once they're linked, it's extremely easy. And quite honestly, there's just more opportunities in DeFi. I will say the centralized exchange might be safer, but at the same time, DeFi offers that safety that no government can actually confiscate or freeze your crypto assets. Not only that, it gives you the ability to make 1,000 plus APR in certain tokens. It gives you the ability to get into tokens before they really become popular. Like I know I got into Tectonic when it was in DeFi world, when it was maybe $1 million market cap. And then when Crypto.com centralized exchange listed it and went crazy, and because I got in on the DeFi side, that certainly helped me out quite a bit. But anyways, of course, you have the Chronos NFTs, you have NFT staking as well, earning passive income there. And of course, it's extremely low fees when you compare it to Ethereum's DeFi world, at least for now. Maybe when the merge finally happens to ETH2 or whatever they're now calling it, maybe that'll change things. But Chronos and the Crypto.com DeFi wallet is definitely where it's at as far as I'm concerned. So let me know what you guys think of it in the comment section below, or if you have any questions, of course, feel free to follow me on social media for different cryptocurrency updates. Be sure to hit the subscribe and the bell notification button if you're into Crypto.com, Crow, and Chronos. That is what we do here on this channel after all. Do appreciate you guys watching more than you know, and I will see you guys all in the next video. Stay gold.